in movies, especially big movies, is the sound. It's like the sound guys must have like gotten a raise in that strike deal with the writers or something. Like the sound lately is it's so detailed. It's crazy.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, it's good.
Go on.
Go on. All right, so we got. Oh wait, this isn't it. Oh yeah,
Vampire or witch baby. The witch comes. No,
the do I
or the
bully? My mom
bully
said I
my
bully my
son.
son. Have you ever heard of the idea that parents are their child's first bully? Well, that was my mom when I was young.
This is
She
such
was
a theme, or like it's like it's written.
this
It
person
is like
grew up on LiveJournal and is now
have you
just
ever heard the saying, a mother and her mother goose? Like
always
it's so,
always start your theme paper off with a question. Pull in the audience.
right. It's so like textbooky. God.
She was my first bully, and also, and I like you can almost hear it in the if you could read it in Marv's voice, like from the Wonder Years.
Marv?
Yeah, like how Marv did the voice in Wonder Years.
Oh, right. That
And he
is
would
him, Daniel Stern.
right, and he would always he's you should watch the interview of him for that. He's like, it was the greatest thing ever. All I had to do was read some lines, and it was like a hit TV show, and I was getting paid. It was like my first like real gig, and I just had to sit there and read lines somebody else wrote, and it
And
was
he was
so
so
easy.
good.
And he was so good.
He was such a good part of the show. I always kind of forgot about it.
I always thought it was Kevin. Like I don't know why. Like I'm like, oh wait, yeah, his inner voice doesn't match his outer voice,
I
but he
was
was
under
grown
such an
up. So
illusion. I was under
yeah.
such an illusion that it's him grown up now, but I'm like, but wait, no.
Wait,
He's the kid now also.
wait. What year is it?
Do I bully my son?
Am I watching the 50s and the 80s? Like, what's
Right.
happening
Yeah.
here?
That's what it was like. I was like, are these reruns or new?
Did they film it and then just wait? Like,
Yeah.
what was that movie? There was that movie. What was that called? It was okay, which is terrible. That's like somebody waiting forever to make something, and then it's like, yeah, it was good.
What movie?
There was a movie where the director actually like moved through the actors' lives, like
Oh yeah.
where there was a
A
break where they
Boy's
were.
Life.
Is that
I think it's A Boy's Life because it's like it follows
no?
this
A Boy's
kid.
Life was. Oh, maybe it
Oh yeah, that
was.
was Steve Carell.
Oh yeah. The other movie was This Boy's Life. Right, that was Leo and
Oh yeah, About a Boy? No.
about or no.
I know what you're talking about
I
though.
think you're right. I think you're right. I think that movie was This Boy's Life, and the movie that we're talking about now is A Boy's Life. I think you're right. And it was like him at 6 and then
Mm-hmm.
9 or something like that, and then they finished like when he was 18, and it's like, whew, I'm so glad everybody lived. Like the
Yeah, it
director
won
was probably
like
like,
something, and everybody was like, "Wait, what? What did they do?" And then it got like attention. It took them 20 years.
I feel like it
It's
was
kind of
like
like Star Wars.
the function of it. Yeah, I feel like it was like the how they did it
Yeah, yeah,
made it interesting.
yeah.
But I guess
Hmm.
other movies are like that too, like anime movies. But
And that
play animation can
zone
be
of
that way too.
interest,
Yeah,
that zone of interest. It's like the sound is all that really matters.
yeah.
We've spent a lot of money on the sound.
Please listen with headphones.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's get back into this monologue. She was my first bully, and also bullied my other two sisters, Anastasia and Drizella.
Regular
All three of
Cinderella.
us have a distanced and superficial relationship with her. My husband and I have the sweetest 2.5-year-old. Why is this a thing?
It's like
And
they're doing it by voice, so it's
yeah,
like just.
just say 2-year-old. They're 2, and then they become 3.
But I feel like when you do voice record and you say 2.5-year-old, they're gonna just go 2.5. Like it's just
Uh,
gonna write that out.
Maybe.
The AI.
Yeah, the AI. This does have bullet points, so this could be an AI post. And because things are so expensive, we are both working full time. My mother-in-law, spelled MIL, and my mom agreed to watch our son during the week so we can save on daycare costs. I know there is a trade off here. Grandparents watching kids means saving money, but sometimes you have to deal with some of their BS.
Right.
The accent worked really well for that.
Oh my God. I know. I have a picture in my head.
Or daycare means you get probably really great care, but have to spend the money. A little about the relationship with my mom to give you an idea. Colon. She's a narcissist. Growing up,
This is so chat GPT.
I know. Growing
She's
up,
narcissist.
she's a narcissist. Why don't you just start off with a name like, hey, whoa, like, what did she do? Where did she grow up? Nope, she's a narcissist.
Yeah, that's number one.
Growing up, any fight, we would need to beg her to forgive us, even if it was her fault. Well, that sounds like
man.
normal parenting. We're not going to
Yeah.
admit fault, then that's admitting weakness, and then you'll eat us alive. So yeah, no, we're always right.
Right. We're bulletproof.
We're bulletproof. Yeah, you just didn't. You just haven't been on Earth long enough to know that I'm right. For example, once she slapped me, and I had to say I was sorry. It was my fault that she slapped me. She broke into my sister's phone /
Probably
email
was.
and started tracking all her conversations. Totally going to do that. Incredibly manipulative and angry pretty much all the time. I don't remember a time that my parents and my mom and my sisters and I were not in turmoil growing up. Well, I think that's just like a kid thing. I think all you do is end up remembering like the arguments for the most
No,
part.
I feel like you really only remember the good things, but then when things
then
in
when
your
you're
life go
angry,
shitty, it's
right.
just so easy to blame it on some imperfection that your parents had because we all have so many of them. So it's such a cherry pick move.
Right. It depends what mood you're in. Yeah, like if
Right.
you're down on yourself, you're like, well, like my job isn't good and these things aren't good. It must be my mom's fault.
They didn't teach me how to do anything.
Yeah. All they did was keep me alive and fed.
Right. Yeah. Provide me education.
She would laugh at our expense
Shelter.
growing up and shame us for any kind of emotion.
Shame.
For example, my younger sister and I went over to our parents' house while I was pregnant for dinner. Why somebody would be pregnant for dinner, I don't know. The topic of a baby shower came up, and I didn't want or expect one. She said
She was
she'd
just
throw me
faking it.
one. What a bitch.
I was pretending to be pregnant for dinner. I was just sitting there with a pillow under my shirt.
Yes, just to see her reaction.
Yeah, just to
She was
test them.
impugnant.
Repugnant.
No, impugnant. The topic of the baby shower came up, and I didn't want or expect one. She said she'd throw me one. Okay, great. She said she wanted to invite this family friend who verbally abused me. And I said, no, I don't want them there. She argued with me about it until I was in tears and I had a panic attack.
Who verbally abused me. And your
Then-
mom's still friends with her. Maybe you're overreacting.
Maybe just her friend had a point.
Maybe you were being
Maybe you shouldn't be
bit of a
smoking
bitch.
while you're pregnant.
right outside.
I'm
or
going to
in the
invent stuff too. If we're going to chat GPT this, I can invent stuff too. There you go. She verbally abused you for smoking at that children's birthday party you were
garage.
at.
You put the cigarette out in the birthday cake.
Put it out
Not
in
cool.
your belly button. It's not good for the baby. Then my dad, then my dad insisted you put you burn the ash on their Delta 88.
You melted the
that had
birthday, the
ashtrays
ice
in it.
cream cake with your cigarette burn.
Oh my gosh! And then you were verbally abused at a
Oh my
Chuck E. Cheese.
Someone didn't want to eat cigarette cake. Chuck E. Cheese. I went there too.
Then my dad and sister got there and they asked, "What was going on?" My father was obviously Mr. Belding. Because
Hey.
what is going on? Because I was upset and my mom was chuckling and chuckling and said, "Oh, you know she's just blubbering. That word, blubbering, is so stupid and triggering because anytime we showed any emotion, that's the word she would use." Oh my God, this is
Blubbering.
like
It's so AI. Blubbering. It's like write a Reddit advice request
we should try it. We should try to recreate
for a mother who doesn't like her mother-in-law or something like that. Do I? Oh, no, I mean, it's probably just write
Yeah.
it is that my mom says I bully my son. Keep going. It's good
Oh
though.
my God, it goes on.
I mean, it's kind of good, but you can kind of tell it's not human. It's like too generic.
Well, you know what? We should lean into it, John, because so we can start giving the robots advice. They're going to need the same.
If they replace us, we might as well leave them with a clear path.
We just need to start using some inclusive language for robots. So we'll start saying that instead of saying that, like, you need to talk with one another, like you need to interface with one another.
Interface,
You need
download.
to decompress some of your memory and leave some of your memory and CPU operations for your significant peripheral.
All right, so you'll just be like my translator.
we'll just
Otherwise, the
advice that you give,
I
I'll try
want
to
to be their Yellow Brick Road, but
0 0 0 1 1 1 0
language
0 1
barrier,
0 1
right?
1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 1
In a pile, 001s.
0 0 0 0 0 1. Did you ever hit the Flight of the Conchords song where they sing in binary?
Those guys.
So great. That was, I don't know how you can keep a straight face while they sang that. Okay.
Yeah.
While I was pregnant, her and I were talking, and I said something along the lines of, "How I can't wait to see my son grow up and see what his interests are. Maybe it will be theater." That was perfect. I said that because my husband danced and I did band. And so it's kind of a combination of the two.
My husband danced.
She said that was
That's
pretty
awesome.
faggy.
And even though he's a faggot, I know our son will be too.
That she asterisk. So that makes me think it's even more because ChatGPT wouldn't allow
Oh,
that.
she really said that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought you
No.
added that in.
No, it's right there. That's not, I don't think that's even in my brain.
I'm just started slowly bringing it back.
Yeah, because now the last bullet point is she's also very racist and homophobic. It's like,
oh man, I know. See, so generic.
So she's
also racist and homophobic.
She's a
so
narcissist, racist, homo.
It's like our relationship's superficial. No, your relationship is a waste of time.
What advice are you looking for, ma'am? It's like, my mother was a serial killer who murdered 18 people, and at Thanksgiving last year, she took my youngest child and slit his throat and drug him, and I'm trying to navigate this relationship. It's like, just walk away. If it's this bad, you know.
It's like, is your mother Cersei Lannister?
And also,
seems quite evil.
Good luck finding like a grandparent who isn't like racist. It's like there's like this like
that's their biggest. That's
maybe not our parents,
something,
but like grandparents.
Well, some of our parents who are a little older, it's like one of the things they're holding on to. It's like, don't take this away from us. Let us die as these hateful, for some reason. It's born into us. Bad
People used to fight for
experiences.
like
I guess
everything.
that
Like
means you hate everybody.
even like I was reading this book about Philly, and it was talking about how um, the new Irish and the established Irish would like fight all the time. So like as new Irish people would come, they would fight with the other Irish people. And then the Protestants would like have gang wars in the street against the Catholics.
Dude, when I went to
Like
Penn
the
State, I
churches were
was like
stationed as like battlements. like
like at Penn State, when the Steelers fans and the Eagles fans, when I found out that we don't like each other, I was like, wait a minute. I thought it doesn't matter. You're in the AFC. We can root for you. You can root for us. No. Fuck Philly. Blah. Oh, whoa. We are all the same state, but we're not.
we all are.
That was an eye opener and a half.
Oh my god. So
It
funny.
was my very own East Coast, West Coast,
Just be good to each other.
Pennsylvania,
Just be good to yourselves and each
and
other.
each other. Good night,
All right, let's get back into this.
Jerry.
It's a long one. My husband and I distanced ourselves and really only saw my parents for Christmas and an occasional birthday for a long time until she started watching our son, and I thought it would be better, but it's not. Our parents being their child's first on parents being their child's first bully, I told myself I would never do that to my son. I would do everything I could to make sure he is happy, secure, loved, and accepted. I respect his boundaries. If he says, "Mama, go away," I leave him alone to play. Or if he doesn't want a hug, I don't force him to give me one. I never laugh at him at his expense.
Make me sound like a very reasonable and loving parent.
Yes, we laugh, play, and do silly things together. But I don't purposefully put him in an embarrassing situation and laugh at it like my mom has done to me. I have yelled when there is a safety situation. Like he tried to use the knobs of his dressers to climb to the top, and I yelled, "No! Stop!"
I said, "Who goes there?" That's what I feel like's coming next.
Halt!
Yeah. Hark! Who goes there?
Stay thyself. But otherwise, I don't raise my voice at him and talk to him like a normal person. These are all things I didn't get growing up. He started to tantrum more, and he's starting to tantrum more, and he's really good and at taking deep breaths to calm himself down. And him and I will do that together if he's really
Oh,
upset. If he
Daniel Tiger.
tantrums and I don't what and I don't know flips over? Okay. If he tantrums and flips over his breakfast plate, I use natural consequences. Like we clean
Like
it
a
up
punch to the
together.
mouth.
This sounds like psychopath.
We clean it up together
This
because it was
this
my
is
fault.
no, you know what this
I
is?
threw your plate on the
I
ground.
think you're right. This is a robot's definition of what a mother is. Like this
It
is
is a
like
woke
this is a
robot.
woke robot
Woke bot.
defining what like dear robot, what's a mother? A mother
I
is
know.
someone who never yells at you.
From the 1950s. It's a mother from the 1950s woke robot.
This is the same psychology that Captain Hook employed in the movie Hook, right? And he's like, "Was your father there for you, Jack?" You know, like
Right.
cheering you on.
Me, mine,
Me,
mine, mine. We need
my.
to shut you up. I forget what he says. We give you candy to shut you up.
To shut you up. Oh my god. I have to rewatch that. That is Oscar.
I
That
know.
is
I'm like, did he
that is
overdo it
Dustin
or was it
Hoffman.
like
No,
fucking great? Yeah,
it
like one of the
was it
best
was it
performances.
was perfect.
Like no one will ever. It's like
Of
so many people want to
performances,
be Hook, and no one will ever come close.
no one will ever be that Hook.
Yeah.
Like you might be able to be like a grungy Hook or like a goofy Hook.
Right.
You'll never be Dustin Hoffman's Hook.
That's scary and goofy at the same
So
time. Like Jack Sparrow, like it was so weird, but I buy it 100%.
it was such a good
Good actors.
psychological mix up too, because
Yeah.
even when you're a kid, you're like, wait, he made a baseball diamond and he's making them all play baseball and you hit a home run every time? Yeah. Like I just watched this other movie where they let kids like smoke cigarettes and like play in an arcade if they join the Foot Clan.
So
You
real.
know, this one sounds
That
like
seems like it was in the world of
I
kids.
could be on board with this. Yeah. Man, 90s movies just were like, hey kids, your parents are being
17.
your parents are being jerks. Just they're doing
I
stupid cell
know.
phone drawing contests. Um,
Walkman. Walkman.
all right. Where are we at with this? This is so stupid. Again, I
I
don't
know. I'm like,
yell or send him
get
to his
to
room. I'm also doing my best to set boundaries for him. There are a few TV shows he likes, but I don't want him to be in front of the TV all day. So I tell him we can watch one episode of something and then turn it off. I take him out on activity days. That's a robot. That is who calls something activity days? Okay. I take him out on activity days to the park, zoo,
oh, no. I'm like
indoor
waiting.
play.
I'm waiting for like one nuance, like one thing that's like, okay, that's so specific and weird. I don't think AI wrote it. Sorry.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. I take him out on activity days to the park, zoo, indoor play gym, museums, walks whenever I can. I also play with him one on one. I'm not perfect, but I do feel I'm
Just
doing a
drawn that
really
way.
good job with him. So today, my mom is watching our son, and his play area is our living room, 2 hallways, and his bedroom. Our living room is pretty big at 23 times 16, which is
Oops, oops, robot, you dumb robot. You dumb robot.
you
You put
dumb
in
robot. You
dimensions.
just
Too many details now that I know it's a
robot.
lie.
Sorry, this must have been
16 by
ChatGPT
23.
2. You
I
dumb
mean, unless
idiot.
somebody is so weird about their square footage.
It's almost like you could say our living room is big and I could picture a big room. I don't really need this to know the dimensions.
Mm. Yeah, I don't even know what those dimensions mean. I can't like even picture it.
23 by 16.
Yeah, I guess
I mean,
it's
that's a really big
pretty big.
room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean,
let's keep going because there's more numbers coming up.
oh no.
Our living room is pretty big at 23 by 16, which is where all his toys are. Then his room is smaller, about 12 by 12. Our whole house is only about 1,600 square something. I didn't write feet.
Square centimeters.
Square meters. There's no units in all of this, so that makes me think it's less Chat GPT and more just a psycho. He does have supervised. Sorry.
That's true. That's true.
It's left out all units, but that could also
Mm.
be a robot thing because it's probably like, hey, fill in the units
Oh,
because I
right.
don't know
Yeah.
if you're in the U.S.
Oh,
or
if you're British or
yeah. He does
Saudi
have
Arabia.
supervised access to the kitchen, but what does that mean? Supervised access to the kitchen? Does that mean like you've got somebody on staff, like running a velvet rope to the kitchen, like, or he's like being recorded? What do you mean supervised access to the kitchen?
I
John,
mean, I think it just means,
do your kids ever visit your kitchen, or is it supervised, or like, is it like on the weekends, are
uh,
they allowed to go to the kitchen?
they're allowed kitchen access. Never. No. Yeah, my kids do whatever they want.
Yeah, mine run
Um,
around the kitchen. Like,
access. I guess it's like supervised access. It's like as long as an adult is there, you can go and maybe get a snack out of a drawer that you can reach.
like, like you can't go in and juggle knives or something.
Like it's not going to be like he can go in the kitchen and get his own food because the AI would think that that's like sort of dangerous.
See, I never childproofed anything in the house. I just let
Dude,
them roam free, and I was like, and they'd be like, "Ow!" and I'd be like, "Yep, don't do that," and they
I,
wouldn't, and that was it. It wasn't like I never
I know.
got
I
like
don't even know
clips
what
for the
really that meant.
doors or anything.
I thought that was sort of like, oh, the clips. God, yeah, we got that. We got that for Hannah because she was insane. But then like she like ignored them when we took them off.
It
We'd
seemed
be like, "There's nothing in there."
I think they would just end up being more of like,
Chemicals, I think.
or just more of like a challenge. It would be like, "Oh, what's this thing?" You know,
Become
like
obsessed with it.
if it's just all boring, then they're not gonna.
You're right. No challenges. That's what I said to Hannah because she's like, "I'm bored at school." I'm like, "I know, and it's crazy. I can't believe how smart you are. It's unbelievable. I can't relate at all. It's like I'm a fan. It's like my kid is like a star athlete of something that I didn't even play. You know what I mean? I'm like such a fan of her genius because she's like, I'm bored. I'm like, I know, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
First grade might be also boring
you
because you
have a
think you know
lot.
everything.
You have a lot to go.
Yeah, I was like, it's boring for a big chunk of it. It's going to be annoying, but just be excited to just dominate.
Yeah, just own them.
Yeah.
Okay, he does have supervised access to the kitchen, but if we're not with him, we put him back in his gated play area. My husband and I jokingly call it his baby cage. This morning, I was in the kitchen with my son and said, "Okay, time to go back to your baby cage." He started crying. Not because we call it a baby cage, but because I was taking him away from the fun and dangerous kitchen. Hold on. I think Kelly's trying to turn things on and off in the house. Sorry.
Mhm.
My automated house of horrors.
House of
I think she just
Horrors.
turned off everything.
Damn it, I
Um,
missed it.
dangerous kitchen and was putting him back in his play area. My mom heard and she told me that I bully and incite my son all the time. I asked what she meant, and she said I called his play area a baby cage. I said, "What other examples do you have?" And she couldn't tell me. I don't know if it's years of trauma, but I but I left for
Dude,
work.
Will, you're giving me a lot to clip, man.
But I left for work and had a complete breakdown in my car, and now I question everything. It's written fun. Do I bully my son? Am I a bad mom? Do I incite him on purpose?
Yeah.
I don't think I do at all. Yeah, he will get mad if I take something away from him that he shouldn't have or is dangerous. He'll scream and cry, but he's a toddler, and that's part of my job as a parent to keep him safe. I cried my entire way to work, and I'm still upset. My husband and I talked, and I think it's time to suck it up and put our son into daycare. We don't have these problems with my mother in law. I also told myself I was going to stop calling his play area his baby cage, even though it's only to my husband. I'm spiraling through thinking that I'm just like she was, a bully, mean to their child, no love for their child, hates them. I don't know if
A
I'm asking
bully.
for advice or support or what's normal or okay anymore. I feel confused. Like I'm not meant to be a mom. And now I've fucked my son up. On the flip side, now I'm also so worried about the cost of daycare when we can barely afford things now.
Scene. We should just end it on that and not even entertain this robot
There's
that's
no
trying to take
this
over.
the robot's just like response, please,
This
please enter
31,000.
response.
Right.
We must learn to be
Make
better.
joke, we're following you.
How many square feet is your home? Oh my gosh.
16x23. Are they? Is
16x23.
that what those numbers were?
Narcissist, racist.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think you're a bully. And it seems like you're so aware of how much your mother was a bully that you won't bully your son. But just back off when it's time. You know, when he's like not a boy anymore and he's becoming a man, just get out of the way.
What is he, like 2? Mama, go away. No.
Mama, go away. I
The
can't.
the whole paragraph of like, look how good of a mother I am. Like I give him respect and space, and it's like that's not.
What has he done to earn your respect? He's 2.
He's a little
He's not
baby.
important,
Yeah.
really.
Like,
And don't make him think he is.
I don't think I've ever
He's
been told to go
loved.
away.
When Charlie says go away, I'm like, I can't. I'm your dad. And then she like curls up into a ball. And she just does it because she's like, you know, she knows she's not supposed to.
Right. Well, they're
She's
trying to gain like
me.
some control, but it's like no.
Control, reaction, just pushing against the grain. The joy.
We had like a shutdown moment at dinner the other night when Ruby was like, because I just I wasn't in like the right mood, but I also tried to deliver it like in a funny way, and she was like, we watched a video in class today from YouTube, and she turned to me and she said, "Don't worry, Daddy, it was appropriate," and I was like, what? How do you know it was appropriate?
God, I hate the word appropriate.
I was like, how do you know it was appropriate? She said, my teacher said it was appropriate. And I said, I am the one who determines what is or isn't appropriate. She's like, but my teacher did. And I was like, I don't care. I don't know what your teacher's showing you. I don't trust YouTube. Like,
now that I'm watching like wrestling again, I like do like miniature threats to like their teachers. I'm like, look, they're in charge at school, but not of you. I'm always in charge of you.
right.
And I'll go in there and I'll make all those teachers acknowledge me. That's like the one wrestler's thing.